the Friday matinee. You know, we've been going hard all week, but this is the public finally understands that this is where the war is being fought. You know, we've been in the trenches for years. Now all of a sudden the legacy media and the libtards and MSDNC is waking up to the YouTube revolution and the live streaming revolution, the deployment of the selfie sticks and the red live circular light that is, indicating to us that we are on and we are communicating to zero people, but hopefully we'll start to get... So I just, before the weekend, I'm off for the weekend, so I do feel like I want to, because the narrative is sort of formulating before our very eyes, and so I do want to kind of get my thoughts down as it develops, in kind of reaction while I can. Okay, so the narrative that I'm seeing, and what I'd like to just say first and foremost is, women don't make this. They're making, like they do with everything. They're making it about them. It's entirely, white women are making it about them. It's entirely about them. White women are just like, oh my God. And I just think that that's a little bit, you can't look at the results if they're real. I'm still not really convinced that they're real, because a lot less people voted this time than in 2020. A lot less. So that hurt the Democrats. The voter turnout was very low. But if the results are real, it's not like he won. I don't really think you can blame any one demographic. I think what's happening is people are using this to demonize men. And that's the narrative that I'm seeing develop, is 4B, right? So I want to talk about 4B and all of that bullshit, because we got to get out ahead of this. We need unity. It's probably not going to happen, but it's not like the first time where it was like this shock and how could this happen, and white people are responsible. It's like this time it's like the dude won every swing state. It wasn't close. It wasn't like Florida where it was like some, and he won the popular vote by 5 million fucking votes. So I don't think pointing the finger at any one group. Yeah. What's up, man?
Suck, Gabe.
That's right. See, we're in it. We're in it right now. That's right. That's right. Yeah, look, these guys.
How did she fuck Stalin?
That's right.
Yo, y'all
Throw it up. Throw it up. There we go. Perfect. See, I'm gonna put music into this later. See, those people get it. Those people are fucking living in the 21st century. They see what's going on. I've been doing this for over a year, walking around doing this. And people are just kind of waking up to what it is. So yeah, women, don't make this about you. Well, it is about you. It is about them. But, I think the abortion issue is such a fucking public crucible issue in this fucking country. But it's like everybody's going to suffer because of this. It's not just like women have a fucking monopoly on goddamn suffering. And granted, okay, we know that Trump is responsible for fucking... There you go. So they voted red. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not really buying the results personally. I mean, it seemed like, right, there was more early voting than ever. It seemed like there was going to be big turnout. So the fact that I think Kamala got less votes than Hillary, and way less than Biden. Either they cheated in 2020 or somebody else is cheating now. I mean, we'll see how far that narrative gets. I said it sort of as a joke. That was my initial reaction, was stop the steal. And they cheated. But like, okay, so did they cheat everywhere? You know, how would they have cheated everywhere? You know, it's like, I don't think that there's like one system of voting machines. You know, there could be. Does Elon Musk control the fucking voting machines? Yeah, I mean, that's true. I did. There's footage of him and Elon talking about they have some kind of secret or something, and it's sort of already in the bag. It doesn't even matter. They already kind of knew they were gonna win. I definitely wouldn't put it past them. I think, you know, I think a lot of people want, a lot of corporations, a lot of rich people, you know, fucking, Israel probably wants fucking Trump. Like I'm saying, I don't really see how they could have cheated everywhere. I mean, the dude won every fucking swing state. You know, it's not like all, as far as I know, the polling machines aren't just like controlled from, you know, they're not all a uniform system, I don't think. You know, there's paper ballots, but I'm also seeing that a lot of people are saying their votes weren't counted. Their votes haven't been counted yet. They're checking online. So, like I'm saying, I mean, we don't really know. I mean, the official story is that the dude won, and he won by, like, you know, a good amount. That wasn't a huge landslide, but it's like, that is how people are like conceptualizing of like each other. You know, like when we look around now, we go, oh my God, how did 50% or, you know, 70 million people, whatever it is, who among us, who are these people that live among us that voted for this and blah, blah, blah. And so I think, it doesn't seem implausible to me. You know, when I'm on YouTube, when I'm on fucking, okay, so this is something I wanted to talk about, how during the pandemic in 2020, I got on Twitch, right? And I was doing this on Twitch, basically. And I just stopped doing it because I was just shocked at how fucking right-wing everybody was. Like, everybody, these were kids in high school and shit. That's who watches fucking Twitch. It was a bunch of fucking, like, teenagers and shit playing video games. And so they'd get on Twitch, they'd watch my channel or whatever, and they were all Trumpers. They were all trolls. They would all roast you. You know, they'd roast me. They called me Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain's Muppet brother. And, you know, that was something that sort of like was a shock to me, and kind of like, I don't know, a deterrent early on. Was like, Jesus Christ, I was not expecting, you know, all these fucking high school guys playing video games to like be Trumpers. And what are all these fucking people on YouTube they're all Trumpers, you know. It was 2020, for Christ's sake. We were in the middle of the pandemic. So I was on campaigning for, you know, just to get rid of fucking Trump. And everybody in the fucking comments was like all about Trump. They loved Trump. They really didn't understand what was going on at all. Okay, love you, Ashley. I'll see you in a little while. And same thing with YouTube, kinda. You know, I would say, you know, most of the people that watch YouTube are like Trumpers, or at least the ones in the fucking comments. I mean, I just posted a short. I'm already getting comments about, yeah, liberal tears. We love to see you cry and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't necessarily think they're cooking the numbers. It's like there's more of these people than the Democrats are willing to admit. And being in denial about it, I don't think helps. You know, like, you can't point the finger at any one group and be like, it's them, it's white men. Even though that's what's going to happen. Or that's what I'm seeing happen. You know, what I'm seeing is 4B movement. Women hate men again. they're going to be celibate and abstain from sex as a protest. And this is about everybody. We are all fucked. You know, it's not just, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, Roe vs. Wade should absolutely be codified, and it's absurd that we're even in this fucking conversation at all. It's completely insane. But we're all getting fucking trampled on. And that includes men. That includes white men who are stupid enough to vote for the guy. You know, that's why all these Gen Z incels voted for him, because they're not happy. They've been left behind, you know? Like, a bunch of women getting mad at them and being like, oh, well, we're never going to have sex with guys again. It's like, you're just ostracizing these people more. You're alienating them more. I'm not saying that men have a right to women's bodies or anything. Like, that's the narrative that I'm seeing. These guys, you know, they can't touch women's bodies. They can't get access to women's bodies on their own, so they have to, like, vote for Trump to control women and because they're incels and blah, blah, blah. You know, the war between the genders is, like, crazy. And it's corny. Nobody wants to talk about, like, helping men. You know, men are trash. There's been nothing cool about being a white male for the last fucking 8 years. I mean, I saw a video. I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe it's just TikTok bullshit. I saw a video that said 64% of Native Americans voted for Trump. There's no way that can be true. There's just no way that's fucking possible. But if the numbers are true, and like I said, they probably aren't. They, you know, this is the narrative they want to sell us. It's just like, yeah, we won everywhere. You know, when George Bush got reelected in 2004, he won the popular vote. And he said he had a mandate. He said the election was evidence that the people were happy with his policies and they wanted more. Because he won bigger the second time. The first time they stole it, he barely won. The second time, it was a shock to me as a 19-year-old who campaigned for John Kerry. It was a shock to see George Bush get more of the vote, more popular. He won the popular vote. He lost it the first time. That's what happened with Trump. People they want to double down on their goddamn bad decisions. They want to invest more in their toxic ex. You know, it's like when you have that toxic ex, it's like you keep going back. You think it's going to be different or whatever. I don't know. Like, if the numbers are accurate, and if the numbers are accurate, the turnout was like lower than 2016, or, you know, the people that voted for Kamala voted less than Hillary. It's like, is that true? First of all, it doesn't seem like it could be true, but let's say that it is. It's like, it's kind of the same thing that happened in 2016 where, like, people were just apathetic. They thought they were going to win. It was going to be a landslide. There's no way Trump's going to win. And how foolish. But that's not how it feels. It felt like people were involved. It felt like people were conscientious about, like, they needed to get out and vote. But that's why I'm like, the fucking turnout was lower? How was that possible? So we're fighting in the war, the info wars, people. We're on YouTube. I haven't seen Your Body, My Choice. Who is saying that? A bunch of trolls in the fucking comments? We're gonna have more abortions, okay? We're gonna have hotter sex. We're gonna have more abortions. Don't give me this bullshit about gender, okay? See, this is Ashley saying this. People are commenting it everywhere. Okay, well, that is just a bunch of loudmouth idiots. Like, don't fucking pay any attention to those people. You know, you're giving them your power. It doesn't fucking matter what they have to say. They don't have any fucking control over your body. You can still get a fucking abortion. Fuck them, you know? You know, we need to do what we need to do to fight for women. Obviously. I heard about the mass texts. That's insane. It's crazy. You know, I'm not saying it's not like fucking crazy the moment that we're in. You know what I mean? But like shitting our pants about a bunch of fucking boogeymen, fuck them. They haven't done anything yet. You know? Let's not be obsessed with whatever their dumbass messaging is. Fuck them and their stupid messaging. Like, don't blame us. Don't blame me, okay? It's not all men. It's not all white people. Okay, Ashley. This is just gonna make women hate us even more. Which is not good. Intimidation tactics. We shall overcome, alright? We have to be fucking strong here. Can't watch now, watch take on the election. I thought it was insightful and not partisan. See, Bruce Holliday thinks I'm not partisan. That's good. I'm glad I'm not partisan. That probably means I'm extremely right-wing. Non-partisan in this country means, like, fascist right-wing. Reconstruction period Civil War. Yes, okay. What, Ashley? What do you want me to do? I don't, you know, like, we want to protect women, we want to celebrate women, we're men, what the fuck can we do? Oh, God, it's going to be 4 more years of fucking virtue signaling. I can't do it. I absolutely cannot do it. I'll be in the manosphere, okay? I'll be an incel in the manosphere. I'll be preaching to the little lost Gen Z. Well, my point being, there's all these Gen Z people on Twitch, on fucking YouTube, and they're being radicalized to be like Trumpers. Hurry, what do you want, Ashley? I'm not trying to sound like I'm anti-woman. But if it's just gonna mean a bunch more fucking hatred towards all men, you know, like, forget it. It doesn't do any good. You know, it's not constructive. You know, there should be less fucking generalizing. What, Ashley? What do you want? Athenian democracy lasts 180 years. There you go. Okay, kiss, Ashley. Kisses to you, Ashley. Thank you for watching. There's nothing to be afraid of. Fuck these people. They're not gonna do shit to you. Like, when the fuck are you ever gonna have an abortion? Then the Macedonian oligarchs. So we're heading back to that. We're heading toward the Macedonian oligarchs. Elon, and it's just gonna be a super access of crypto, media, you know, darling. Your message was blocked, Ashley. Rogan. I don't know. I just wanted to get on before the weekend and just kind of summarize moving forward. If this is what's going to be, I mean, this is how women are thinking. This is how women are taking this. And apparently people are intimidating and commenting and scaring the shit out of them. You know, this is just, in 2016, remember, it was the alt-right. Everybody's a fucking Nazi. It's like, these people are pathetic. They are pathetic. We are empowering them by acting afraid of them. That's why they got elected. That's why they do what they do. Because they love drinking liberal tears. They, you know, that's what the bully gets high on. They want to see you react. Okay, Ashley. We'll have hot sex. Hot sex, okay, Ashley? We're having sex no matter who's the president, okay? It's not going to affect me. Well, it is going to affect me. I mean, it is scary that they're going to force women to fucking have children and make abortions illegal and control women's bodies. It is scary. It's part of a lot of fucking things that they're doing that are going to fuck everybody over. Okay, see you around 11:30. You know, now people are starting to look at the actual policies. I don't know. Were people apathetic? It felt like, you know, okay, when I mentioned the election on Monday, because I did an election show last Monday. When I mentioned the election on Monday, people were like, ugh. You could tell they just didn't want to hear about it or think about it. It's like, that is apathy. That is the same thing that happened in 2016. In 2020, people were not apathetic. There was a fucking pandemic. There was a lockdown. We thought we were all going to die. We thought Trump was telling people to inject bleach into their veins. 2016, it was just like, no, we don't want to talk about it. Fucking, both candidates suck. We hate them both. It was the same energy, you know? And that energy comes from the fucking left. That is liberal people who should be voting for fucking Kamala, and people who are fucking obsessed with feminism and shit like this. And they're the ones who are like, oh, we don't want to talk about it, you know, fucking, you know, Palestine, free Palestine. Fuck the election. It's like, okay, well, great. Now look where the fuck we are. Because people thought this was behind us. They thought that we had beaten racism. Once again, what do we have to do to beat racism? We elected Obama. We defeated Trump once. Now he's back better, you know, he's stronger than ever. It's like, yeah, it's going to fuck a lot of people's lives up in a lot of ways. They're going to denaturalize people. You know, I've been in the fucking live streams trying to tell people, trying to fucking influence Gen Z incels, trying to find some kind of fucking audience. I'm already seeing Matty Healy get fucking like, oh, look, Matty Healy's been talking about this. He did a performance art piece about toxic masculinity in his Madison Square Garden show. Good for fucking Matty Healy. We've been out here talking about this. You know, I'm not saying it's not terrible for women, okay? It's not terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible for everybody, okay? It's terrible for fucking everybody. We are the 99%. We're all victims. We're all going to be victims of this. And we have been victims of it. We need fucking unity. It's not going to happen. I can already feel it splitting. Now people are going to give a shit after the fucking election. It's like, well, why was the fucking turnout so low? Where was everybody? Oh, they stayed home because fuck the neoliberals. I don't know. I can't be around white virtue signaling social justice warriors. I can't do it. You know, that can be an element. It is an element. It's a huge part of it. But it's like, I'm not going to be fucking blamed. Okay? Just because I don't have a uterus. I mean, I'm sorry. God bless you. Women are fucking magical. They are superior. They are given a unique burden in the universe. And it's just something, but men have their own, you know, it's like we're not getting laid. Women can't really understand the incel, and the word incel is sort of a taunt. You know, it's not really any better than like fucking judging somebody or, you know, whatever the fuck they're doing to intimidate people. You know, taunting people because they're socially isolated and they don't know how to fucking connect with people. It's like there's a lot of fucking industry in this country doing that to these guys. Nobody gives a fuck, you know? Nobody gives a fuck about them. Everybody, you know, our generation has gone out of its way to help women. And yet, look where we are. And I suppose in a certain way that is a reaction to feminism or something. Like, oh yeah, well fucking, we'll repeal Roe versus Wade. But it's like, they can't leave us behind. You know, they have to develop men. The reason why there's like a surplus of attractive women, there's no attractive men, it's because like they haven't developed men. They just let men drink fucking taurine Monster Energy drink and fucking Cane's chicken fingers and fucking nobody's gonna read Audrey Lord, okay? There's no Gen Z white guys out there that are gonna read Audrey Lord. It's not gonna happen. Like, that's insane. They should. They're not reading anything. They're watching fucking Theo Vaughn and fucking Andrew Schultz, and they're playing fucking GTA 6. They're not gonna read Audrey Lord. They're not even in fucking college. It doesn't do them any good. What good does it do them to go to college and to learn? You know, the jobs that men can get now are like HVAC jobs and shit. You know, they don't want men in these professional jobs. They want diversity and inclusion. And now they're going to want it even more. And so what are guys supposed to do? They're going to go be fucking, they're going to live with their parents. Or they might get some kind of, I mean, my brother, like he worked at, he's had every fucking shitty job you can think of. Neither one of my brothers went to college. And they're smart people. My brother Jack, he's got some kind of job with robots because he fucking taught himself how to do electrical fucking electrician shit. My little brother, it's like he's had every fucking shitty job you can think of. He's been a delivery guy. He's worked every kind of fast food. He's worked at Raising Cane's. And it's like, what is he? He fucking listens to Chris D'Elia and shit. He's not going to read Audre Lorde. He's not going to read shit. He might, you know, if there was an appealing male role model who spoke to those people. You know, Maddie Healy doesn't speak to those people. Maddie Healy speaks to Swifties. You know, it's like Tony Soprano speaks to these people. You know, they're all fucking Sopranos memes and shit. It's like you have to communicate. You have to bring them into the fold, or like find some kind of touch point. You know, Harmony Korine gets it. Harmony Korine is in Florida making aggro drift and shit. He lives with diversity. It's not some fake thing to him. You know, he lives among the people. And yet he's in art galleries. He's in the fine arts world. But his stuff is like he's making a portrait of what America actually looks like. It's not just some like East Coast fucking radical guilt trip. That's like a bunch of privileged academics and people with white-collar jobs, or people who want white-collar jobs. Look at me, I'm frothing at the mouth here. I mean, people should read Audrey Lord, I agree. Or watch YouTube videos of it. You know, while you're playing fucking Fallout or whatever the fuck these people do. I don't know what they do because I don't live that way. You know? But every male who I grew up with does. Literally every single friend that I have from fucking high school plays video games all the fucking time. And that's it. That's pretty much what they do. They have bad diets. They've given up on women, or like, you know, they've found some kind of way to like, but it's like, you know, we're more or less defeated and broken as like, is anything good gonna happen in our lives? You know, it's just like we've been disqualified from achieving anything because we're bad white men. And fuck all white men. Read Audrey Lord. And you should read Audrey Lord. But it's like these guys would read Berrigan. Berrigan would speak to them. Wake up, jack off, smoke pot. You know, that's like poetry for straight guys. You know, but it's like people don't want that. You know, they want to fucking wear the Kimbe cloth like Nancy Pelosi and act like they're not guilty. They act like they've been doing this the whole time. It's like if you've been out here, you've been reading Audrey Lord, you know? But you also got to realize it doesn't do you any good as a white guy to do that because they don't want you anyway. And so, and honestly, it'll never happen. My brother is an incredibly smart person. He's not going to read books. It's not going to happen. You know, he works all the time. Everybody works all the time. They're not going to come home and fucking read. You know, in order to even do poetry, you have to be incredibly privileged because it takes so much fucking time and energy and emptiness and nothingness. You have to have tremendous expanses to disobey and be queer. Not everybody can fucking do that. Most people are working at Cane's or driving Ubers. My brother was a fucking cable installer. He was climbing fucking telephone poles and shit. It's like he's not gonna come home and read fucking some kind of guilt trip about how white people suck. But if you're already in the system and you're benefiting from that, then yeah, that's like something that you can virtue signal. Like, yeah, I read Audrey Lord. Aren't I so fucking enlightened? You know, I don't know. Let's get Campbell and Tim Waltz to play fucking Super Mario 64. We'll reach these kids on their level. Tim Waltz will speak to them. Like, the Democrats are just so fucking lame. They should have Harmony Korine directing their ads. You know? It wouldn't work. You know? Bernie spoke to people because he was fucking... He had it all. You know? He understood the benefits and he could get people to think about those type of things. The Democrats can't do that. But somehow we've got to reach these, you know, I've been seeing these videos about white guys, straight white guys, or straight white liberals. Get straight male white liberals. Get podcast microphones. Get streaming. You know, this is what we need to do. It's like, I've been doing this. I've been complaining about how it's a right-wing space constantly. It's one of the themes of my weaves, is that YouTube is incredibly right-wing and Twitch is incredibly right-wing. That's where guys are spending their fucking time. They're fucking playing Xbox and PlayStation 6 or whatever the fuck it is. They're watching wrestling. You know, it's like, I don't know that you can get into those spaces. Jon Stewart is kind of able to. You know, like Jon Stewart did a WWF thing. You know, he was at some kind of SmackDown thing. He understands roast comedy. Jon Stewart should run for fucking president, man. I know that, like, a lot of people say that on the internet, but, like, Jesus Christ, like, he's so involved with, like, the 9/11 firefighters. Like, Jesus Christ, Jon Stewart, he could win. He does it on TV every fucking Monday, just like Trump. He could beat them at their own game. There's not a whole lot of people that could do that. But if they're out there, they're live streaming. You know, the live streams, it's become like this rhetorical Lincoln Douglas debate or something, where it's just like you get on and you fucking yap, and you're persuading people, and these are the info wars, people. We've been out here fighting why do you think my fucking YouTube page is so lit? Not that anybody has really, I mean, there's a small group of people that get it, but like, there's a reason why I put every fucking thing on YouTube, because I'm trying to reach people like fucking Bruce Halladay. You know, I would say a good amount of the people that I interact with are Trumpers, or they're right wing or whatever. I'm not going to change their mind about anything, probably. But, you know, when you're not even respectful enough to, like, you just want to shun these people. Just get no bad comedians. No more racist comedians. It's like, they're out there. What do we do about it? How do we get them off this fucking joke? How do we get them to stop making Joker movies? Maybe they'll probably just get a new Joker. They'll get, I don't know, fucking Zendaya to do it or something. We need a woke Joker. We need a woker, okay? They should have made like Kamala Joker memes or something. You know, just paint the Joker's face on Kamala. People would have voted for her. Just paint the Heath Ledger Joker smile on Kamala. It's like, oh, she's the Joker. Ha ha. All of a sudden, Gen Z men are like stoked about Kamala. You know, at least Biden had like Dark Brandon. That's cool to young guys. You know, you want to be a bad boy. Like the Kennedys. You know, Biden was sort of a bad boy in a way. Kamala's just like joy. It's about joy. Our campaign's about joy. Like, who's feeling joy? Definitely not Gen Z guys jacking off fucking every night into a sock at their mom's house. Adam S., what do you think? We haven't touched base with Adam S. yet. Give us your 2 cents. What went wrong? America, what went wrong? Did they steal it? Can we stop the steal somehow? Adam S., what do we do? How do we Roger Stone this? Where's the left-wing Roger Stone? Is it the Clintons? Is it Hunter Biden's laptop? I've heard theories that Trump is going to step aside out of illness and make J.D. Vance president. That's the secret plan, is to sort of install J.D. Vance. And apparently J.D. Vance is the one who, people saving up for a mega protest. Oh boy, here we go. Well, I'll be there. I'll be at the mega protest. America's gonna break into a million fucking pieces. I mean, I imagine once they, you know, because they could potentially take their policies pretty far. I mean, I think we should be keeping an eye on the House. You know, I think they still have the filibuster in the Senate. The Republicans only have like 52 people in the Senate. And the House, I think, you know, they're not totally, I mean, they're definitely outnumbered, but it's not like they can just get away with totally anything, maybe. Trump is that true? Is that true? Trump is hiring Alex Jones as press secretary? There's no way that's true. That's got to be satire. That's got to be The Onion or something. That can't be real. I mean, if he hires Alex Jones as press secretary, then he'll have Gen Z guys on lock. They'll love that. They all live in this fucking Arrested Development video game, Xbox Live, stand-up comedy fucking special world. How do we develop men? You know, like beat literature, that was a masculine sort of, you know, Jack Kerouac. These guys were role models for guys after the war. A lot of people care, even Matty Healy talks about how he's influenced by On the Road. You know, it's like, that was a hell, even though Kerouac would probably be a Trumper. Kerouac was kind of a small-minded Republican in a lot of ways. But, you know, it would be a good thing if these guys started writing poetry, I don't know, traveling, meditating, reading, definitely reading Audrey Lord, baby steps. Maybe we can baby step them into that. What's in it for them, you know? They'll get laid. If it will get them laid, I don't think guys know how to get laid. And I think they've given up. They're scared of rejection. They don't know how to face rejection. They don't know how to access, or, you know, a lot of them don't know how to access any kind of, you know, because they're spending all their time on fucking screens or watching porn. He got 312 in the popular vote. The left is more angry at Trump voters than Trump himself. A national divorce is coming. Bam! You heard it first here. We got the exclusive from Adam S., everybody. Trouble in Biden's paradise. We're going to be sleeping in the... Screenshot it, baby. We're going to be sleeping in separate beds. Men, we're going to have to go sleep on the couch for the next 8 to 12 years. Until this thing blows over. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go live in a fucking trailer somewhere. And just be a radical streamer. Just go full-time streaming. I mean, if this is where the fucking revolution happened, how calm everybody is right now is kind of surprising. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, that was something I was talking about yesterday, is like, last time Trump got elected, like, literally, I was at Trump Tower, like, the next night. You know, there was, like, a huge protest. It was wild. You know, you can go back and watch my fucking live streams. I think it's been normalized, and I think the results, if they're true, are indicating to people that, like, this is not some kind of, like, I don't know. It just feels like accepted or something. It doesn't feel like it was stolen. You know, he didn't lose the popular vote. And honestly, I think people are sort of worn out. I think people have spent the last 4 years just like trying to relax and avoid politics to some degree, to just sort of like reset after the 4 years of, you know, guerrilla warfare of 2016 to 2020. Just to get rid of the motherfucker. But it's like, if we're offered, if all, you know, the biggest political choice we only get offered once every 4 years, it's like, what are we going to do for the next 4 years? Just protest is what we have to do. But I also think we need to find a way to have a good time. You know? Like, let's not let them defeat us before they've defeated us. You know, let's fucking You know, let's go. Let's fucking go, or whatever that means. UNITY. UNITY. I mean, I should have a way bigger audience. If I had a bigger audience, this wouldn't have happened. If these see, if I would have just stayed on Twitch, the reason why I left was like, these fucking people are all creepy Trumpers. All these high school kids are all psychotic trolls who will say any goddamn, you know, the fucking online gaming space, dude, there's no fucking woke, you know, like the discourse in like your average like online game is like the most racist, hate speech, shocking, you know, liberals who take everything literally would not be able to handle it. You know, if they think Tony Hinchcliffe is bad, that's like your average discourse on fucking Counter-Strike, or, you know, I don't play these games. I haven't in a long time, so I don't, Call of Duty, I guess. Maybe they police it now, but like, it's a breeding ground for like these insane edgelord, spurglord, and Elon Musk is totally one of these people. He's like an autistic, spends all his fucking time in internet forums or like, you know, programming or whatever the fuck these people do. These with the TISM. Not that they're, you know. And I don't know, that kind of hyperactive, he has the soul of a Gen Z. Elon has the soul of a Gen, yeah, he's like Despicable Me or something, level humor. You know, he's got this kind of like internet humor mentality where it's like he kind of speaks that way, you know, it's like, and you know, Democrats, the left has to have a fucking sense of humor. You know, like, where the fuck is people's sense of humor? Or you know, how do we become entertaining? Is it Mark Maron? Is it Air America Radio? I retract my statement about Elon having the soul of Gen Z. I don't know if America doesn't care, but it's just like, I think people are just defeated. Like, they're looking at the last 4 years and they're like, well, shit didn't get any better. You know, everything got worse. Everything's more expensive. Can't afford a place to live. Can't afford a job. I'm a guy. I'll never be able to have a family. I'll never be able to provide for anybody. No one will ever date me. I can't buy dinner. I can't even have a place to like bring a chick. So what am I going to do? I'm going to watch South Park all fucking day. South Park Studios. Or whatever. I don't know. What do Gen Z kids watch? They watch fucking Mr. Beast or Mr. Based. They're probably watching Mr. Based. What's a valid concern? Or what not valid concern? Onion Eater. I'm watching Mr. Based. I've checked out. I think young guys definitely was a fuck you to somebody. You know, young men, it's like they've got all this antagonistic energy. They got to spend it somehow. It's either going to be a war, it's going to be rock and roll. It's like you got to use that angry, antagonistic hostility because they're not having sex. All the shit yeah, I do think they're valid concerns. That's why I'm talking about it. I have answers for these people. You want to get laid, start writing poetry. Women write poetry. That's how you show them that you're emotionally aware. And it's how you get in touch with your own feelings. And they got to aim lower, that's true. They should aim lower. They're too porn addicted. They're porn addicts. I don't think we should blame porn. And in fact, the Republicans want to ban porn. That's like one of the crazy things is I really don't think people understood what they were voting for. I think Gen Z guys or the Trumpers, they're so in love with his entertainment value that find a slam pig at the dive bar under 50. Now you're talking. That's exactly right. Find a woman who's gone through menopause. You can just raw dog. She'll teach you the ways of love. Once guys raw dog, then they'll chill out. The problem is they're all sexually frustrated, and, you know, younger women have been taught to hate them because of Roe versus Wade being repealed and these threatening text messages and shit like that. It's like, there are good men out there, okay? There are good men out there. Let's try and figure out how to make more of them. You know, rather than just being like, men are responsible for, you know, they don't, you know, they're sexually frustrated, so they're trying to control women. Don't kiss her, don't give her your real name. See, Adam S. is a player, okay? He knows what he's talking about. Take his advice, okay? Get involved with the pickup artist community. You want to develop as a male? I mean, you know, I don't know. Men and masculine energy, it is a little rough around the edges. It has to be a little bit confrontational and nip things in the bud and shit like that. And so, like, men need to kind of learn that stuff. They need to go out and confront the world. Those guys hate women the most. Which guys? You know, well, this is also something we need to stop. You know, if there's men out there that hate women, we need to figure out a way to bridge this divide. You know, women seem like they think they're above it. You know, first of all, they're terrified. You know, they're fucking terrified that, oh, okay. Isn't there mire enough to getting laid, though? All the shit, you know, it's like you got to find some kind of fucking, more about the sexes than anything else. This election seems more about the sexes than anything else. I think that's definitely how it seems and is, and, you know, it's weird because the percentages were almost exactly mirroring each other. Like, Kamala, I think, got 55% of women and like 43% of men or something, or maybe it was the opposite, 45%. And Trump, it was literally the same, but the opposite. Trump got 55% of men and like 45% of women or something. And so it's like, you know, a lot of women fucking voted for Trump. You know, it's not just men. Maybe men were the deciding percentage or something. But there's a lot of fucking men, myself included, who voted for Kamala and who don't want these fucking policies. Like Matty Healy. We're cool, man. We're some of the cool ones. Please, don't blame us. Don't start the fucking the Lysistrata all over. I think it's gonna be worse. I think the 4B movement might be the. But I don't give a fuck. I mean, Jesus Christ. We'll find a way. Somebody out there is gonna fucking want to have sex. And I don't know, like, you got to develop yourself if you want to deserve sex. You know, young men need to go out and build themselves, and they need to have, like, you know, avenues of doing that. They need to be able to make money. They need teachers. They need, you know, what, they're all watching Robert Greene and shit. You know, they're all watching Mastery or the 48 Laws of Power, or, I mean, maybe that's, as a Might Man, you know, and to be honest, that stuff isn't necessarily bad. Women are easily influenced by propaganda. See, that's what I'm worried about. I think they once it becomes a group decision, then it's just going to be unpopular and untrendy for them to even be nice to men. You know, that's what I'm worried about. Just like before, it's just like we're going to get put in the fucking doghouse. And they're going to be mean. You know, they're going to treat us like shit because they think that we deserve it. And we're to blame, you know. Just, you know, oh, you want to repeal Roe versus Wade? Well, fuck, you're not getting any. I don't know. Women can get sex anytime they want. With men, it's like, it's rare. especially if you're not doing anything with your life. You know, like, no woman is gonna, like, probably, you know, like, men kind of have to, like, earn it or something. They have to work for it. They have to make something of themselves. So it's like, I don't see, you know, it's sort of like one of these things where, like, nobody wants, like, inconvenience anymore. Like Gen Z and to some degree millennials, it's like any kind of, like, oh, you're just supposed to be easy on yourself. Take care of yourself. Like, love yourself. Self-care. You know, anything that's, like, you know, not resonating on your frequency, just don't do it. Just don't go to work or whatever it is. And it's like, for guys, it's not really like that. It's like you have to force yourself out of your comfort zone. You know, it's like you have to force yourself to do things that are scary, that are, you know, whatever that is. You know, like trying to build a business, be an entrepreneur, whatever. Fucking get on stage, be in a band. Even talking to women is scary. You know, we have to initiate. We have to seduce. That's not easy, and there's no fucking guidance. Our culture is just like fucking Adam Sandler movies, and it goes downhill from there. It's all these man-child Seth Rogen fucking stories. Super bad, and there's no adults anymore. You know, I try to posit, you know, a role model as like somebody who cares about literature and the fucking humanities and politics and women and minorities and culture, music, poetry, comedy. But I also want to reach out to everybody. I understand the lonely male comedian syndrome. And I understand, like, they're wounded people. And it's hard to sympathize with them because they're self-defeating. Apparently, a lot of the comedians didn't vote for Trump. They're just sort of not political. They just don't want to be, which is, you know, but it's like, what are these people just going to be thrown away? And, you know, like, I don't have a huge audience, but there's definitely people who watch that, you know, are like young guys that, like, you know, we're trying to figure this out, and like, what the fuck are we supposed to watch? Fucking Comedown? Or, you know, is Adam Friedland the fucking voice of liberal fucking young men? Or, you know, Stavros, or fucking, who's that Nick Mullen guy? You know, is that like the left? Is that like what a cool guy looks like now? Is it Matty Healy? You know, like, what is a fucking cool guy? Where are the heroes? Where are the artists? Where are the poets? You know, poetry especially, you know, has been incredibly hardline against any kind of white male presence, like, at all. Unless you were already a part of the establishment, you know? Then it's like, oh, well, you get a pass. You know, you're like, wokeness killed art. I don't necessarily, I don't think that's entirely true. You know, I think that there's definitely interesting art out there. And in fact, I think the political pressurization has made some interesting art. You know, there are things that feel a little bit more urgent than it was. There's not necessarily like an abundance of like great shit, but you know, I think we're being overlooked. We're being shadow banned. You know, it doesn't please the algorithm, which, to be honest, that's another thing. You know, these social media spaces, a lot of them are for women, or women benefit from them. Women can build an entire career or get tons and tons and tons of validation. Like, Instagram, like, is not the same experience for men and women. And women can just get on Instagram and, like, they, you know, and it's just such a, I mean, I'm sure it's toxic for them, but it's like, men don't even use Instagram. It's like, where they go on Twitch, I guess, or they go on, and so it's like they're not going to be fucking influencers, or like, who do they look up to? They look up to Jake Paul or Logan Paul or something. Like, that's a best case scenario. Like, you know, and it's like, that's because millennial guys were not developed. Like, there wasn't the priority coming out of Bush era. You know, we were the generation that was like, women were first. And the diversity was a priority. We elected Obama. I do want to brag about that. Gen Z men voted for Trump. Millennials elected Obama, okay? We did do something. But it was like, you could tell boomers thought, well, you know, we will platform women because hashtag feminism, and women are entering the marketplace, and women are having all the white collar jobs, the managerial jobs, the you know, they have extra income. They're the consumers. They're the fucking Swifties. They're the people who watch girls and shit. There's no male equivalent, you know? Like, what's the male equivalent of girls? It's like workaholics or something. You know, it's like, there isn't a similarly, like, high-tone male show. You know, but there's a lot of work that went into, like, platforming female artists and shit like that. And that's good. It's been really an amazing, beautiful, unprecedented time. But it's also like, well, where are all the guys? Is it John Wilson and fucking Nathan Fielder? And, you know, there's Red Scare podcast. I guess there's Comedown and Neoliberal Hell. There's Billy Pedlow. Where are the positive role models? Disagree. Okay, Onion Eater disagree. Well, prove me wrong, okay? I mean, maybe it's just me. I guess it's just me. I'm just a similarly embittered. It's all about who makes it, not how good. It's not about who makes it. You're talking about woke stuff. I'm committing to work. I should be able to quit my job because of mental health crisis. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, yeah, we should all fucking not have to do these insane jobs. It's just weird the way Trump wants to reorganize. You know, they want to get rid of overtime or whatever. Or what is it? They want to get rid of overtime, or like they don't want to tax it, or I don't even fucking know. They seem very interested in kind of like reorganizing. You know, nobody talked about the policies. It was all just flim-flam. You know, it was all just Trump got shot and he's on Rogan, and, you know, it wasn't like, oh, well, actually, these tariffs are like a bad idea. You know, you're only seeing that now. You're only seeing TikToks and shit about that now. About, oh my God, well, here's what Trump's economic plan is actually going to do. It's like, well, where the fuck was this a month ago? All I saw were TikToks about how Kamala's going to win in a landslide. And we're going to have our first woman president. And, you know, I don't think it is as simple as misogyny. It is that, like, people do think about it like it was anti-democratic that they just put this candidate in. And now it's hindsight 2020. Oh, we should have had a primary. It's like, nobody was fucking saying that. Nobody was saying that. Everybody was thrilled. Everybody thought we pretty much had it on lock. But now people are panicking and they're freaking out and they're scared. Women in particular. And I get it. I don't know. I guess we're all just going to get divided again. We're all just going to hate each other. Nobody's going to have sex. Nobody's going to have any fun. It's just going to be self-hatred, performative self-flagellating that means nothing, that does nothing, that's anti-construction. You know, it's like we need a counter. We need to create heroes. We need to create discourse, you know? We need to create memes or whatever. People should watch my fucking live streams and vlogs and read my extremely hetero male poetry. You know, this is one reason why my poetry is so vulgar and like, because as a man, that's the way that my friends and shit talked growing up. It's not because we were racist, fucking privileged. It's just like we grew up in the fucking 90s. You watch Comedy Central, everybody fucking talked that way. Not that I was, you know, I didn't really say gay or retarded. I didn't really say that as much as other people did. Other people said it a lot. I never really communicated that way. But it also wasn't like offensive to me or whatever. You know, it was just how people talked. It was dumb. I always thought it was dumb. There's always been like a problem with stunted growth in my, you know, in my age. Maybe that's like a traditional thing, but you know, you look at these movies in the 60s and 70s, it's like they had all these male role models. They had all these interesting stories. You know, fucking Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman, fucking, you know, tons. Gene Hackman, you know, Al Pacino, De Niro, Warren, you know, it's just like, and they had female, you know, it's, we're not trying to say it should be dominated, but it's like, look at the fucking movie stars now. It's like, they're so lame. They don't really make, I mean, other than Adam Driver, who's in Megalopolis, it's just like a bunch of fucking superhero movies and shit, and the guys are in those, like Channing Tatum or John Cena is apparently a big fucking star now. It's like, where's fucking Woody Allen? You know, where's the fucking millennial Woody Allen? He's a positive role model, right? No, he's fucking canceled. It's like, you don't understand, like, men have their own section. We're werewolves, okay? We're horny. We have to go out into the night. Our bodies go through these weird, we have these animals inside us, okay? And I don't know, maybe we are hypersexualized because of porn or something, but I think we're hypersexualized because we're men. It's just like biological that we have to like sperm 5 times a day. I have to have an orgasm at least, you know, at least once a day. Otherwise, it's like, you know, it's bad for you, kind of. You have to exercise your bodily humors, you know. There's a lot of reasons, you know. It's like your sexual energy and those chakras and shit, your chi. That shit has to get, you know, moving. And the Democrats want to, they want to stifle that energy, you know. And I'm not saying it's women's responsibility or anything, but it's like, how, if we made more high quality men, women would be happier because they'd have hotter guys to sleep with and date and shit. They complain about how there's nobody to date. It's like, yeah, because they're all fucking undeveloped, and they're, you know, they have to work horrible jobs to even make ends meet, if they can even do that at all. They certainly can't be the provider or the patriarch, you know. I guess the patriarchy continues. We still haven't had a female leader. It's just the men go on. It doesn't look good for us, guys. But I am pleading with you. I'm begging, I'm pleading with my viewing audience. Like, please do not stop the sexual healing, okay? That's why it's called sexual healing. You know, because it's good for me. It's good for you. Get up, get up, get up. It's healing. We need healing now more than ever. We need hot, hot sex. Be responsible, pull out. You know, back shots, okay? Come on the tits, or the, you know, that's why I write about coming on the tits in my poetry. It's one of my main themes, is coming on the tits. and face and, everywhere, really. It's a big part of my poetics is coming on female bodies. Having access to women's bodies. Just kidding, okay? These are just... I'm a roast. Can I be at the next roast? I couldn't handle a roast, dude. I would be hurt. It would break my heart. I'd start crying. Honestly, roasts are disgusting. They're disgusting, okay? Semen retention will provide you with untold poetic creativity. That sounds like a no-fap thing. I don't agree with no-fap. I mean, I don't know. You shouldn't just rely on the fap. It shouldn't be all fap. You got to go out and, as a man, have some fucking pride. Get out in the world. Get out in the world. Like Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy, we need you more than ever. Will Ferrell, we need you to come back and make... I can't believe I watched the Trump movie. I watched all this Trump content before the election thinking it was going to be like his last hurrah. You sort of thought it was Trump's like swan song. You thought it was his My Way at Madison Square Garden. It's like he's sort of going off into the sunset. Like Reagan or something. It's like, so I'm like, yeah, we'll watch the fucking Apprentice movie. We'll watch the Rogan Trump interview that's 3 hours long. Sure, why not? Let's just see what it's about. How am I gonna do? Oh, fuck. Now he's the president. 15 million people watched it, okay? Does Brian Williams have that kind of pull? Does Lester Holt? Apparently Rachel Maddow doesn't. Rachel Maddow, what the fuck happened? Lawrence O'Donnell, justify your existence to us, buddy. Joe, Morning Joe, what's going on, pal? You're fucking fired. You people are all MSDNC, you're fired. You are fired, Morning Joe. You are fired, MSDNC. 40 million what? Semen retention, okay? I'm a men's rights activist. Oh, God. I feel like it's my destiny to be like the millennial Robert Bly. We need to have some kind of men's groups. The Fourth Estate sane-washed him. Well said, S.A. Beaver. I agree. They sane-washed him. They did. You're absolutely right. What estate is the manosphere? What estate is the podcasting the broadcasting sphere? Did I just coin the broadcasting? That's a trademark, okay? That's a trademark of Scenes from a Life citizen journalist. Broadcasting, broadcasting. I've been a fucking citizen journalist, okay? The first time Trump got elected, people were shocked that I was going to be a low-rent citizen journo. I could see that's... We're all the fucking media now. We're all fake news. So get out there and lie. If you repeat it enough to enough people, it becomes the truth. Stop the steal, everybody. They stole the election. Stop the steal. Trump Rogan, I thought, was super mid. I didn't really realize that Trump or Rogan... shame on Rogan. I had a lot of respect for Rogan for abstaining, even though a lot of people thought he endorsed Trump and was a Republican, because he definitely leans that way. He's Alex Jones' guy. He's a fucking MMA guy. Like, he's a fascist. He is a fascist. It doesn't matter that he does DMT and he does shrooms and shit. He is a libertarian, which means he's a fucking fascist. He doesn't want there to be any government, Mother Jones, that's a good one. I should have said that. And so, like, Rogan, like, okay, maybe he's, like, socially liberal in that, like, he's probably pro-choice. He's pro-legalization of weed. But it's like, he's not really, he's sort of skeptical about anything woke, pretty much. I mean, I guess he's not super anti-woke, but, like, he's really not good with women at all. It's shocking to me, actually, how big of a platform Rogan has, and he doesn't have any women on his show, like, ever, hardly. Like, you rarely see a fucking woman on Rogan. It's like, I think I saw Miley Cyrus, and he probably had, like, Abby Martin on, I think. It's, like, rare. It's always a man. So I'd say that's very problematic. And, like, you could draw a direct correlation between these Gen Z guys and just that. It's like, why doesn't Rogan have any women on his show ever? It's like, he just wants the UFC ring girls around? No, I mean, libertarians are fascist because they want corporate control of the state. That's what fascism is. They want to get rid of the government by having total control and having business run everything. Libertarian meaning, oh, the government should stay out of my fucking, like, free market, empire of myself. We need to deregulate, like Elon. He's more interested in deregulating. The regulations are what get in the way of him. He's always getting these fines and shit. $130 million is a bargain. The dude has so much money. The fact that it only cost him $130 million to fucking buy the election, dude, that's the best money he ever spent. He's going to make so much fucking money off this. It's insane. Elon Musk is about to get a hell of a lot richer and more powerful. And that's fucking scary. I hope that YouTube remains a bastion of democracy. These guys, they're all about beating people up, physical might. Rogan looks like Mussolini. It's like they're fascists at heart. They don't really understand that. They want a dictator. They want a strongman. They want daddy to come in and lay down the fucking law and spank everybody and slap tariffs on and, repudiate the woke mind virus and punish the women. I'm like a translator. I educate myself by going and being a part of, the woke world and learning and reading Audrey Lord and having experience, in poetry and in life, in politics. And then I try to get on the bro blogosphere and yap, to my 80% male audience. And I love women. This is all about pleading for unity. Please don't hate us. Please don't hate us. Please. Please have sex with us. Please, we're sorry. We didn't do it. I voted for Kamala. I committed voter fraud. Just so I could vote for Kamala. I broke the law. No, I'm kidding. I didn't. I didn't. I'm kidding. That didn't happen. That's just a joke. That's comedic exaggeration. I mean, if Trump can admit that he broke the law everywhere all the time, and he's the fucking ultimate immunity president, then me committing a little... It's just a joke. It's just a joke. I did not. I voted where I lived. I voted in my address. And so, that's where I am registered. That's where my license is, So, that's my district. It's okay. We'll edit it out. Okay? We'll destroy it. We'll shred it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Okay? It's the internet. Hey, I'll get a pardon. Maybe I can get a pardon. Apparently people want Biden to pardon Trump. Have you heard this? Is that insane? I mean, that's the most insane thing I've ever heard. What sense does that make? Like Ford pardoned Nixon or something. It's like, well, those guys were, kind of buddies or in the same party or something, like Biden and Trump, like, kind of hate each other, I'm sure. I mean, Biden beat Trump. Trump still hasn't beaten Biden, to be honest. Biden can still hold that over his head. He still hasn't lost to Trump. Dark Brandon. We should have gone with Dark Brandon, everybody. Why was Musk on the call? Okay, that's an interesting question because that was literally the fucking headline of the New York Times today. I checked the New York Times. The headline at the top, Elon Musk was on some call with Trump to Zelensky. It's like, I mean, are we surprised? Like, the dude is going to break every fucking rule there is. Like, is Elon Musk might be the fucking Secretary of State. Or something. God knows. He'll be something. He'll get some kind of appointment or something. And, it's little shit like that like Americans don't really understand why that's a big deal. Your average American's just going to be like, yeah, so what? Like, what difference does it make? They campaign together. Like, the quality of education or whatever in this country, or, whatever they instilled in us, these ideas about democracy or sense of objectivity and journalism, or all of that has been undermined and destroyed, like, in the last 8 years. These things that the legacy media really, like, worked hard to uphold, to seem righteous about the Constitution and, the government's place in, like, doing right and protecting people, and just people don't buy it anymore. And, the idea that, like, Trump was on a call with Elon Musk and Zelensky, it's like, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, that would have been a scandal. When people actually understood and had political, I don't know, that would have been a scandal. Probably, right? I don't know. At any other time. Like Obama wore a tan suit. Or, I don't know. The Bushes kind of flouted a lot of shit like that too. They weren't quite as doing it every fucking day. I mean, that's why it's like the outrage, it's like it just doesn't work, because it's like it's literally every day it's some new, and it's just like, hey, he is so in his own sauce that, like, he's gonna do it the fucking way that he is gonna, he's gonna play golf probably like 5 days a week. He's gonna be watching, like, I don't even know, Newsmax, I guess, and or whatever. I don't even know. He's probably gonna be watching podcasts, or what the fuck does Trump watch? Fox and Friends or whatever, the five or whatever the fuck it is, Gutfield, and playing golf, and then he's like gonna be on the phone with people and doing rallies. It's like, he's not one of these presidents that, like, wakes up at 5 a.m. and reads his briefs and shit. That's what I'm amazed by. It's like, no, I don't even want the intelligence. Just throw it away. It's like, what? Where are you getting your news? From fucking Sean Hannity? Like, yeah, just throw the fucking intelligence away. I don't even want the briefing. Fuck that. I don't care. It's like, Jesus Christ. I'm going to watch TV 8 hours a day just to see what they're saying about me. And now he's obsessed with golf. It just seems like that's all he cares about. He's just going to play golf all the fucking time. Yeah, Vance is the one that, like, because I don't know, his image is also, like, very, dude, that is going to, I guess people in Ohio, that's going to speak to people from the Midwest and white people and shit. But I don't know. Apparently his policies are fucking, I avoid every fucking JD Vance thing I can possibly, like, I didn't watch him on any of the podcasts. Like, I've been hearing about J.D. Vance for too fucking long because of goddamn Hillbilly Elegy. And so I don't actually really know. I watched his speech at the convention, and, you know, it was fucking insane. It was just like Christian war, you know, war fucking shit. Protecting families, and so it's crazy that guy's ascent, because he's just a fucking asswipe. Let me go somewhere. There's a little more light. Oh, fuck, my hip flexors. Saw the debate. He's very dangerous. Yeah, I didn't even watch the debate. Because I'm just like, to be honest, I just didn't really like Tim Walz. He seemed fake to me. Even though, like, people liked him because he was personable or something. I don't know. He just seemed like more Kraft mac and cheese from the Democratic National Party. And corny. He just seemed fucking corny to me. You know, it's like the Democrats have to find a way to be edgy somehow. And cool and sexy. And inclusively sexy, and masculine in a way. You know, Tim Walz is their idea of like what masculinity is or should be. This sort of like friendly dad, good, like he's fucking Ron Swanson or some shit. It's too Parks and Rec. You know, the Democrats are too, like, Parks and Rec fucking coded. And I didn't watch that shit either. I like Prairie Home Companion. Yeah, I mean, he was fine. He was fine. But he was like, he wasn't going to do them any major, you know, it wasn't exciting. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. He was just some kind of generic... Like, there was no razzmatazz, you know? And, like, would he been good at it even? He was a fucking governor. You know, it's like Hillary was the fucking vice president. You know, Biden was the fucking vice president. It's like, this guy, he hasn't even been governor that long. It just didn't, it was an uninspired choice, just like every fucking thing the Democrats do. It's just like, whoever's making these choices has no riz. And that matters. Riz matters. I hate to use that word. I know it sounds extra cringe when I use Gen Z slang. But we're trying to communicate on their level. Well, he wasn't the safe choice because he didn't do shit for them. You know, they tried to reach across the aisle to these white suburban voters or whatever, and it backfired. And, you know, they also try to pigeonhole people by just saying, hey, because you're Cuban or whatever, you are supposed to vote for us. Because you're Hispanic, you're supposed to vote for us. You know? And a lot of those people are conservative. You can't generalize, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was like the Tim Kaine pick. It made no sense. He was just this white guy named Tim who was a governor of, like, kind of a mid-sized state. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. He was, maybe he was good at his job. Who the fuck knows? Apparently, I mean, he was the governor of Minnesota when the whole George Floyd shit happened. So, was that part of it? He didn't seem to, like, leap out. You know, the media appearances that I saw seemed pretty cringe, and I turned them off pretty much immediately. The stuff that I watched of J.D. Vance, I was like, okay, this guy is holding a conversation, and, you know, he's definitely like a dweeb and an asswipe and a dirtbag, but, like, he knows enough about, I don't know, he would be just like having a beer with some guy at some craft brewery in Ohio or something. Like, I wouldn't fit in with this guy, I wouldn't like this guy, but, like, you know, he can hold a conversation with Rogan and be, you know, he sort of gets the jokes, and he's sort of like got South Park humor or whatever the fuck. Like Tim Waltz is like, hey, isn't this great? Let's play fucking Crazy Taxi with AOC. To Goebbels vibes. There you go. J.D. Vance has got Goebbels. I mean, they're all fucking Nazis. Peter Thiel. It's very bad. It's very fucking bad. We've got to hit... You know, I'm always out on the street. I'm always political. With my highly sexualized male poetry. I'm trying to... I don't know. I'm just writing from my own experience. You know, that's all I can do. And this is my experience as a werewolf. As a teenage Michael J. Fox, Jason Bateman style werewolf. In America, ka. In America, ka, ka. And yeah, I am definitely scared for a bunch of assholes and violent people to be empowered, and you're already seeing it. You're already seeing people being loud and lycanthropy. There you go. Hell yeah. We're lycanthropes. We're lycanthropologists. We have to protect each other. That includes the incels. I don't know. I grew up around guys. You know, I didn't have sisters. I didn't even know how to talk to women. I didn't talk to women. Well, you know, puberty. When I was really young, I was really flirtatious, and I was very outgoing with women. And then after a few years of sort of puberty and, you know, not really getting anywhere, that sort of wore off. You know, maybe my situation at home kind of contributed to that. By high school, I couldn't talk to women at all. And then once I sort of broke through that at the end of high school, it took me years to like actually, not that I couldn't converse with women or something, but like to really begin to like understand a little bit more about their world. And you know, there's a lot of things about women that are, you know, why do they want to be choked? You know, that was something that's like, what the fuck? This is a surprise to me. They want to be choked. They want their hair to be pulled. They want you to slap them a little bit. In a sexual way, in a kinky way, not like in a domestic violence way. They like it. I don't know why. I have no idea. I mean, I kind of have theories, but and other things, you know, just you know. And I don't think most guys even got that far. You know, I think most guys like are incels, right? The statistics show that. These statistics is correlation, causation, they're correlated. The fact that, you know, less people are having sex than ever. I mean, people already weren't having sex, you know? We already went through this. It did not work. The answer is not less sex, it's more sex. These young guys need to figure out their inner Timothy Chalamet somehow. These Gen Z chicks, they all worship Timothy Chalamet. They all want little Timmy C. Figure out how to fucking get the Rizzler Timmy C style Riz. Figure it out, and women will like you. Get out into the world. Get up on stage. Find something. Find your power, you know? Whatever the hell it is. Making fucking carpentry, playing the drums, I don't know. Fixing cars. Just don't try to write poetry. No, there's not a bunch of guys clamoring to write poetry anyway. You know, the amount of straight men that write poetry is probably in the low single digits, I would imagine. The percentage. I can't imagine more than 10% of straight men write poetry. There's a lot of rappers out there. There's shitloads of SoundCloud rappers and stand-up comedians and live streamers. That's why I'm in these spaces. That's why I'm a SoundCloud rapper. Speaking of which, we need System Lord more than ever. System Lord is going to make a huge comeback. We're going to whoop Trump's ass. We're going to come and we're going to whoop the shit out of Trump. We're going to beat Trump's ass, all right? System Lord, January 6th, Part 2, The Revenge. It's our turn. It's our turn to January 6th, all right? We're going Dark Brandon. It's weekend at Brandon's, okay? The deep state we're deploying January 6th. We're going to beat Trump's ass. We're stealing the government this time, and we're not going to fuck it up like they did. Women, okay? You're pissed. January 6th time, women, okay? You're mad? Women, are you mad? There you go. Lycanthropy is used as a metaphor for the compulsive behavior of tyrants. Interesting. See, that's the kind of intelligent person in the chat, okay? We don't have a bunch of chads. We don't have a bunch of, edgelords that don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Those people get weeded out. We have fucking scholars like S.A. Beaver providing us nuggets of wisdom. Look at that. What an insight. Sententiae antiqua. What a valuable insight. We got to talk about that. But what was I just saying? There was some important point I was making. Oh, about how women, you're pissed off. Let's get violent. They want to, they want to take ownership of your uterus, okay? We need to go down to the Capitol building with some AR-15s. Just kidding, okay? I'm an edgelord, all right? I'm like Tony Hinchcliffe, all right? These are the jokes, people. Easy. Hey, these liberals got no sense of humor. These right-wing maniacs got no sense of humor. Just kidding about the guns and the January 6th, but not really. I mean, if they can do it, if a bunch of rich, white, middle-class, Republicans, or upper class, apparently all the people at January 6th were like, had money and were older. They were all in their 40s and 50s, and they were all they flew in and shit. It was like going to, the Kentucky Derby or Indianapolis 500. It was just part of their social calendar as, American warlords. Right wing, make money on, at all costs on the worst things possible, the most harmful things possible. Fuck it. Sell it to people, make money off of it. Miracle Grow, fertilizer, Scott's, lawn care, golf courses, private jets, fast food, gas station food, soft drinks, RJR Reynolds, Nabisco. He paid their way. Who did? Okay, so lycanthropy is used as... Yeah, that's one thing I think is interesting. Apparently, these horror movie genres kind of shift based on what political regime we're under. Apparently when Democrats are in power, vampire stories become in vogue. Like the Clinton years, right? There was Bram Stoker's Dracula. There was Interview with the Vampire. There was... I was just reading Letters of Mina Harker. That came out in 1998. The Dodie Bellamy. That Adya movie came out in the 90s. And then when Obama, right, there was Twilight. And then when Republicans are in power, there's zombie movies. There's Dawn of the Dead came out. There was a zombie craze. Or The Dead Don't Die, right? That came out during Trump. And... But the werewolf thing, I've been thinking more about werewolves, and I don't know, just how it feels so, or at least vampires and werewolves feel very sexual to me. Maybe it's just the horny Francis Ford Coppola, Bram Stoker's Dracula, but even werewolves feel like a good image of like masculinity or this kind of rage, the beast within. This is something that we have to sort of speak to somehow. Dana White and Hulk Hogan and Rogan and the Manosphere, they speak to that, the kind of inner fighter, the weapon, the man as weapon, the man as beast, animal, Republicans are into bestiality. They're all crashing grinder. They're all cruising. How about Vampire's Kiss? Have you seen Vampire's Kiss? Apparently Vampire's Kiss is good. Oh God, I gotta start to head to work. Maybe I'll start to walk that way. My battery is done. Oh, I'm on 20%, so I'll do just a few more minutes. Nicolas Cage is a vampire. That's gotta be good, right? But that's interesting. I mean, maybe I'm sure there's a corollary between fascism or what is it, tyrannical. It's interesting that they had that long ago. Lycanthropy is that old. I guess it makes sense. The compulsive behavior of tyrants. Absolutely, men cannot have control over women's bodies and men cannot expect that. And apparently that's how this election is going to be read. It's going to be read as like men fucked us over. We hate men now. We're turning our back. We're giving them the fucking cold shoulder. It's Lysistrata all over again and again and again. It's like it's like tariffs. It's a sexual embargo. It's a sexual fucking boycott. They're using their pussy power. They're voting with their pussies, okay? They're showing us with their pussies. So we're all just going to have to become gay, okay? This is the future the Republicans want. They want to make everybody into a gay Republican. They're trying to turn all these men into grinder, like Roy Cohen bottoms. They're all power bottoms. It's the year of the power bottom. Power bottoms for MAGA for Trump. Power bottoms for Trump. I love women. I love women. I support women. I try to understand women. I listen to women. I work hard. It's scary to me. I have trauma. It's scary to me to be rejected by women or that they might not. I get nervous, okay? I'm not an incel. I'm no incel, man, okay? It's not easy. People think because you're a man, you're invincible or something. You're automatically strong. You're automatically unemotional. We cry. We cry too. I used to cry every fucking day my first year of school. I would cry every day in kindergarten. And it was not appropriate. As a male, and just like as a kid getting older, I guess. But feelings are discouraged. Men don't know how to share their fucking feelings. We can't show our feelings. We can't, even get in touch with our goddamn feelings. We'd rather laugh. We'd rather roast each other. Make fun of you. Dude, you're crying? Dude, you have feelings? You're gay. Homophobia. Repressed homosexuality. Okay, Plato warns of the people's protector who, once having tasted blood, turns into a wolf and a tyrant. 340 BC, found in dialogues. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like it goes to your head, your ego. Your ego tastes that power, that validation, that love, that success. And you need another hit. You need to go back for more. You need more power. You need a second term. You need to be 45 and 47. And you're putting it on your ugly red hat. Your little Nazi hat. Your little fascist woman-hating Nazi hat. Not me, man. I write poetry. I'm not afraid. I'm not, I'm not afraid to vote for Kamala, you know? I think, you know, there is an inherent, like, you know, maybe this is an aspect of, like, young men not voting for the Democratic candidate, the fact that it was a woman. You know, there is some aspect of, like, maybe they just thought, well, I don't trust her. You know, there probably was definitely some element of that. Like, Trump's strong, Trump's loud, Trump's funny, Trump's like Borat, Trump's like Ali G. Trump's like, the night of 2016 election, I was walking down around the village, just sort of taking the temperature of the world. And I walked down Bleecker over by McDougal, and I walked by the bitter end. This was election night 2016. And there was a comedian on stage. I didn't know who it was because I really didn't pay any attention at all to stand-up comedy culture. But he looked like Guy Fieri. And so I sort of looked in, and I was shocked that they were having a fucking comedy show on election night, first of all. And I asked the guy, I'm like, dude, it's election night. Like, you're doing a comedy show? And the door guy's like, it's election night? They didn't even know. He didn't even know it was fucking election night. This was Hillary versus Trump. And then I'm like, that guy looks like Guy Fieri. And the dude laughs like he'd never heard it before. It was, I guess the guy on stage was Big J Okerson. Big J Okerson was like taping his comedy special on election night, 2016. And like, he wasn't even talking about the election. You know, his comedy special had nothing to do with the election. It was like, he probably was going to talk about everything but the election. And it's like, I don't know. That was just like kind of a weird, you know, early indicator to me of like the correlation in that world between like apathy about Trump. You know, it's like, to me, it was a big deal. It was like, Jesus Christ, Trump is getting elected. This is insane. They didn't even know it was happening. It's like, this guy's a fucking stand-up comedian. He's not talking about this. But it's like, you know, that's been kind of the rude awakening for me, is going into these clubs on McDougal Street, Bleecker Street, which is like where poetry was and where the fucking beatniks were and shit. It's like they're all right-wing. All these comedy clubs are like Fox News, fucking Sherrod Small. And now, you know, fucking Tony Hinchcliffe was roasting people at the fucking rally. And Elon Musk is on the phone with Zelensky, who's also a fucking comedian. It's like the world is being fucking, you know, run by comedians. So get in there, people. Get better at it. You know, I mean, that's one thing I will say. That is a positive thing. It's like, at least these guys who are stand-up comedians, like, they're going out and they're trying something, you know? That's really scary to do. Maybe not all of them really have, like, you know, maybe the full catalog of what it's going to take to make, like, a really interesting thing, but it's just, you know, it's important for guys to be doing shit. And, like, because you do get, you know, no one is going to really judge you based on, like, are you fucking super famous and that level. It's like people will be proud of you just for doing it. You know, they'll judge you on, oh, it's cool that this guy's got a show. It's cool that he's doing open mics. It's cool that he's, you know. And I don't know. There's just a lot of fucking... Zelensky is a hero. There you go. Well, he's an example of a fucking, you know, I don't know, somebody who is on the side of like using that power for good. He's not just a roast right-wing Rogan fucking fascist sympathizer. You know, he's like, I get, it's probably like if Colbert got elected or something. Have you seen the clip of Sean Penn giving Zelensky his Oscar? That's like, that clip was enough to get the Democrats to lose the election. That just like exemplified everything about what people think about Hollywood and sort of the whatever neoliberal world order. Unbelievable heroism. You know, they think Zelensky is a fake. They think he is a plant. He's like this kind of installed. He wasn't that funny as a comedian. I don't know, man. Instead, we get Trump, the ultimate hack Vegas. It's like if fucking...
Reminds me when
it's like if Triumph the Insult Comic Dog was the president.
Oh, very close where
For me to poop on.
on me at the roundabout.
He's just like the fattest, hackiest, like Vegas hound. But at the same time, I don't know. Amongst like the stand-up comedy landscape of today, I will say that Trump is probably one of the better comedians. You know, he's as funny as anybody out there. Really. And they're really like a continuum in this fucking weird way that like people need to pay attention to. Or I don't know, maybe it is like a pointless, impossible thing. Like what is it really realistic to think that like we're gonna get into these comedy clubs and have any influence and change anybody's fucking minds, or like Gen Z men on fucking Twitch are gonna listen to any kind of liberal fucking thing at all? Like, I don't really think that the electorate is gonna kind of or the DNC is gonna refocus to try to bring more of those people, young men, into the fold, Gen Z, whatever, young men. I don't think that that's what's gonna happen. I think they're just going to get more and more demonized. And I was looking at the statistics today, because they're pretty interesting, of the racial demographics in this country and the makeup. And in 1980, the United States was 80% white, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Like, that's a high percentage. Whereas, like, today, I think it's like 59%. 60%, somewhere in there. And it's a lot more Hispanic. I think it's 23%. The percentage of African American people has stayed about the same. There's been about 12% African American people in the United States, pretty much for the last 40 years or something that I looked at. Whereas Hispanic has gone way up, and there's really not a high percentage of Asian people. It's like 6 or 7 or 8% or something. And so, to some degree, I think the Democrats try to make a coalition of, like, everybody else or something. And so, right, like, the narrative is that the Republicans are it's white people trying to hold on to their power as a shrinking demographic. That's, like, what MAGA represents, sort of, right? Or that's the claim, right? Although, after this election, I don't really think you can say that, because it was a lot of people that voted for him. You know, it wasn't just fucking white people that... Maybe it was, but it was like the percentages are rising that other people support it as well. And so, you know, the Democrats try to make a coalition like out of everybody else. That's like the unity of the politics of like intersectionality. It's like we'll get a coalition of everybody that's not like a rich white person, or you know, and that'll be like the Democrats. You know, you have to vote for us if you're Latino, if you're black, if you're gay, if you're Jewish. You're probably a Democrat because they're going to fight for you. And then the Republicans are like the party of white people. And they don't care about, you know, minorities or whatever. So it's weird because with that demographic shrinking, you'd think the party would be shrinking as well. Or you'd think the Trump base would be shrinking. There's McSorley's. Okay. You got 10% battery left, so I'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. It's just endless. Let the squabbling begin. Let the country, I mean, that seems to be what people think is going to happen. World War, Civil War. And a lot of unrest and riots. Oh boy, I don't know. I want to try to, I mean, I guess it's insane, but I do want to try to maintain whatever sense of fucking like normalcy and just like, you know, I mean, obviously we're going to use our art to attack this thing, right? We're going to make political art, but we're going to make art. We're going to do readings. We're going to gather. We're going to organize. But I also am not going to just like play the fucking game anymore about trying to act like I, you know, I don't know. Everything I do is some kind of like disavowal of my own privilege or something. It's like, that's just ridiculous. Like, I just want to live my fucking life. I think everybody does. And in a certain way, maybe that's the fucking greatest protest you can do. You know? I know that's insane, and like, I'm not trying to say women don't be upset or anything, but it's like, don't give these fucking people your power. You know? Just live your fucking life. Don't fucking pay attention to them. Fuck them. You know? And try to keep an open heart. Try to stay loving. And, I don't know, start YouTube channels. You know, if women with cleavage just started a bunch of leftist YouTube channels, they're all on Instagram and shit. Guys will watch you. Just be an e-girl. You know, it's easy. Just be a fucking e-girl, but be like a leftist, you know? I don't know. It might be about to get real divided. And everybody just sort of like going into their own little war, you know, war battalions. Man, oh man. Oh, don't we all wish, I mean, we all wish we would have enjoyed the Biden era to the most. And I think we did. After the first Trump era, it felt like a reprieve, you know? It felt like, holy shit, we never necessarily thought it was going to get back to just like any kind of normal. So I think people really did live it up. You know, Halloween was lit as hell. Pride was always fucking crazy partying, especially in New York. I mean, we've been really lucky to have these last few years in New York. This little air chamber, this little bubble of time after the pandemic until the election, where it's just like, you know, we were kind of free. We had this kind of relief, this kind of safety, this kind of, you know, respite after all the fucking Trump insanity and the war and the constant protests and the complete obsession of trying to fight fascism the first time. And we partied. New York partied. You know, all the open mics, all the readings, all the pamphlets, all the zines, all the posts, the social media posts, the TikToks, the live streams, you know, the friendships that were made, the communities that were soldered together. You know, we have that now. That's all going to be like, okay, Ashley, see you soon. Okay, Ashley? So we have that now. And we love power, everybody. It's just love power. That's all we need, just love power, man. We'll just fight them. Fight them with love, God damn it. And art and beauty and gayness and queerness and blackness and Ishtar and Charles Grodin-ness, and do your stand-up comedy, you know, but do better, you know. I don't know, go to the art museum, go to the cinema, go to a concert, go into life, you know, just go into life, start talking to people, start becoming more aware. That's right, it ain't a live stream, it's a love stream for everybody, for men, for Gen Z incels, for women whose rights are being taken away. We apologize. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. I swear to God, I've been doing everything I can to fight Trump. Literally before, you know, since 2015. It's been a decade of fighting Trump, almost. Okay, love you, Ashley. And we're living by example. So, you know, Gen Z young men who are lost, you should be watching my live streams, okay? That's why I'm posting shorts. You should be watching my vlogs. You should be watching the open mic. It's a handbook, okay, for how to live, how to be an artist in America with no money in the year 2024, how to make poetry that's funny and profound, and be a filmmaker and just live art and be art and create beauty and be around sex and glory and moments of greatness constantly. You know, just try to create as many moments of greatness for yourself. And, you know, have events, do big parties, gather in person, start bands, just make noise. Start a noise band. Get it, you know, start just talking, howling, writing things down, smoking weed, doing psychedelics, you know. Start streaming, buy a selfie stick. Get a microphone. Straight men out there, get a microphone. The war has started, okay? The info wars. We're like this is like Star Wars. What time is it? 6:18. We share moments of love and greatness. Yes, we do.
And then
The info wars have begun, everybody. They've been gone. They've been going on, okay? Get in the game. Start espousing. Start freely espousing your fullest political opinions and beliefs about life and updates on, you know, up to the minute news. This is your news. Election coverage continues. We're going to stop the steal, okay? This is not over. We're going to stop the steal. So